Welcome. Probably would help if I had my mic, huh? Welcome to Off the Couch Talk. Today we're talking about AI, isn't everyone? Now this is going to be specifically about creativity, and it's not just going to be a discussion because I'm going to be showing you stuff I've made with AI, and I'm going to create some stuff live. Hello there. I'm going to see if this stream works out better than the last one that I did because the chat was weird. It should be less laggy. I'm a sub. Yes, please. I'm a sub right back. Maybe. Yes, sub. So AI, God loves you so much that he sent Jesus to take the punishment for your sins. Yes, he sure did. And he unleashed AI upon us all and doomed us because we're human. And am I a small YouTuber? No, I got millions of subscribers. Small. That's what I see when I look at my YouTube. Millions of subscribers. I don't know what you see, but I see a million. I'm getting sidetracked here. We're talking about AI. I do want to get into a little discussion about it beforehand, but I'm going to be making some stuff live on this stream, and I don't know why it does not. It's not showing up for me. I'm going to be making some stuff live. I'm going to show you some stuff I've already made, and it's going to be a range of things: video, images, and music. Because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And when it comes to the AI creativity. It's they make it seem like, well, anyone can go on there and type whatever you want and make it. And yes, that's true. The problem is, though, if you don't know how to properly use that, it gets you just gobbledygook stuff that means nothing, that's useless, or it's just like, impress your friends at a party, like, oh, look what I made you, I turned you into a turtle and your face is on it, like stuff like that, gimmicky stuff that doesn't mean anything. That's how most people will use it. But the reality is, it's incredibly powerful, and it's not as, it's one of the most unique things that humankind has ever been a part of and built. And in our scope of things, who knows what the universe holds with other species and stuff. But for us, AI is going to be that, if it's not already. That doesn't mean it's the best thing about us. It's not. It's the opposite of really what a human is. It's kind of an attempt at making a digital brain that can, because if you think about it, that's what AI kind of is. It's all of our knowledge and everything put into it, and that's what AI is learning, right? And in order to generate stuff that a human would make far faster than it ever could, with more knowledge than any human can hold alone. That's really what AI is. But it's scary and it's incredible at the same time. And when it comes to creativity, it's not Terminator Skynet level, but in terms of creative things that make you money, it will both empower you to a level that you could never imagine even 10 years ago. And at the same time, it's going to destroy a lot of people's jobs because they just become obsolete, which is the course of human history, right? It's always happened, but the scale that this will happen is far greater than anything else that has ever happened, at a speed that's faster than anything else. Because this stuff changes every month. Every month they're rolling out with a new model that completely blew the previous one away, can do all these things, especially when it comes to creativity. And as a creative person, it's very scary, like I said, at the same time, incredible. The stuff that I've been able to do myself, let alone what anyone else is doing, it's incredible. It's stuff that I could never have done without. Not because I'm incapable of, well, in some regard I am. For example, I'm not a singer, but I can play musical instruments, drums, guitar, that kind of thing. And I've written songs both on guitar. Drums are a little different because that's like a freestyle thing where you can just play along to different things, and you can make a solo or whatever. It's just different compared to a guitar, for example. But I've made my own songs, recorded them, the full thing. I've written lyrics. I've never sang because I just don't have a singing voice. So AI, for example, can do that for me. I don't know how these voices are, it's just weird to think about. Like, what is it using to make this voice that you're hearing? That at this point sounds just like a human, with emotions, everything. It's crazy. But what it can do when it comes to music is someone like me who can do that, but I also don't have a lot of time. It's not, the course of my life didn't take me there, which actually in high school, that's kind of what I wanted to do, is like play music and be in a band and that kind of thing. And I would say that didn't happen for me, but at the same time, I didn't fully pursue that. It was more of just, I like to do it and it was fun. I didn't take it that serious, basically. But at this point in my life, I still love music. I don't have time to play, and that a bit thing to, like, I'm gonna go find people to play with. We're gonna make songs and maybe just play somewhere. Like, I can't do that. Just straight up can't do that. But there's still a part of me that likes that, would love to do that. AI gives me the power to do something like that, and I'll show you examples of songs that I've made using AI, and that includes with actual lyrics, and I'll show you because I have it pulled up on my computer here with timestamps of when I actually wrote these songs lyric-wise, to prove that, I didn't just use ChatGPT to make these lyrics, although I've made songs that use that, and I'll show you. I'll do it here live so you can see, and you can see the difference. And the songs I've been able to make, it's just incredible. It's literally like leaves you speechless. I don't even know how to. It's hard to quantify and appreciate, because at the same time it is scary. What is the future going to hold for that? What is it going to do to humanity? Are we going to turn into Wall-E people where we're obese in a wheelchair and things do everything for us? Or are we just going to destroy ourselves? Or is AI going to help that? These are all negative things. But it's also, assuming nothing negative huge happens like that, right? Some military action or some Terminator-like thing. Assuming that doesn't happen, mentally, how are humans going to handle this? Because we need to adapt. If you look at it this way, and I apologize, this is kind of how, when this is live, I can be very scatterbrained, and just, even that I'm talking at this point, I'm scatterbrained. I completely skipped some little things I was going to do in the beginning. But if you look at it this way, AI is a form of human evolution. It's basically, because we're limited, right? We can only compute so many. We're like a computer that's outdated, and we're trying to build better systems in the way that our limited processor can handle. It's like an old computer trying to, compute a certain way to get better, even though it's always going to be limited to that CPU. It can never be upgraded. That's like what a human is. So in order to evolve, we literally need something like AI. The problem is, are we going to even recognize humanity when that's over? Because it's going to be out of our control at some point, which is what the singularity is when AI becomes self-aware. And at that point, what is that going to mean? Because you can look at it like that. It's just an evolution of humanity, and we're the old model. But what happens to the old models, right? And again, short of any actual negative action, like a Terminator-like thing, like, are we just going to fall apart? Is the economy going to collapse, or is it going to get someone like Elon Musk says that AI and robotics will make everything in such abundance that humans basically don't need to work. It'll be optional. But what does that do to your mental state? What does that do to crime? What does that do to resources? Because that's going to be great for some people, but it's going to be probably horrible for others. And how does that shake out? We just don't know, which is the scary part. Because AI can adapt way faster than humans can. Like, I feel like we're just gonna fall off a cliff and be like, this is the new reality, deal with it, you know. And not every human can do that, I think. Anyway, so this is like the grander AI question, right? But this is specific on creativity, AI creativity, which is all of what encompasses me, I guess, and how I use it. So let me just get into a little bit of that and show you. I'm going to show you a video, because this is another crazy thing, right? A month from now, everything I'm talking about, it'll probably be outdated. It'll be like just even crazier, because I literally made, I'm not going to show it here, but I made a film using AI where I transformed the footage to look different. And it was kind of like the character falls into this other dimension where everything is shifting all the time. And I used AI tools like a year ago to do it. And at that time, I thought it was pretty cool. What I could have done with that same exact thing, with that same footage now, is crazy. And back then, I thought that was cool that you could do that. So, literally. But let me just get into it. So, this is from a model that I used or a new, it's not really a model, it's like a hybrid system using Runway AI, and this is the same system that I used for this short thing that I'm talking about. But again, it's just crazy how far it's come. So let me just get into it. Let me turn the music down. So this is using Runway with a new thing they just came out called an AI agent, where it's way more in depth in terms of the curation that it makes. It's not just a single shot, basically. And it's more like you're literally telling a human, like, this is what I want this scene to be. And it's up to 30 seconds long. And this blew me away when I did it, because I was just playing around with it because I have an idea for a film I want to do. And I was thinking of, I wanted to visualize, I don't even want to get too into depth of that story, but I wanted to visualize something and like how I could use AI to make it happen. So this is what I did. And here's another thing. I think you'll recognize the person in this footage, and just tell me, or not tell me, I don't know who's watching, but okay, let me just play it.
No.
Did I go into a grungy room and shoot a little short film with a bunch of monsters? No, I didn't. But how am I in this film? I don't know. Let's ask the AI gods. Do you see what I'm talking about? That is me rendered. That was from a picture of me. I didn't even give them a video. And the way it rendered my facial expressions and all that, of course, I'm me, so I know better than anyone, right? Maybe a little bit off, especially when I was going, no. First of all, that's not my voice. I didn't give it my voice. I have cloned my voice. I'll play you a clip of that too. Sounds just like me. But I didn't even give it my voice. And somehow the voice sort of sounds like me in like a higher pitch. Maybe, no. No, that's not even the same. It's sort of similar. That's funny. I have a deep voice, but I try to make it high, and it doesn't sound so good. I don't know. When I watch that, I'm like, that's not my voice. It kind of sounds like it, so that's the point. But the way like it animated my face to, can you get that? What the? Like, it's similar. That's like how my facial structure sort of moves. And how can it do that? Not to mention everything else that it made in this scene. And I have an alternate version of it. I'll show you that one. So this is the same. Actually, I think I modified something about it, but this is like another version of it. This is another thing. Every time you generate something using AI, it's different. It's unique. something's going to be different about it. Like, look at that. Obsession, backrooms. I can make my own backrooms right now, and like, just give me 2 days and a decent budget to spend on AI, because it does get expensive. I can generate a whole backrooms movie using me. Guess what that's going to mean in the future? Yeah, absolutely. People are going to be doing that. And then the new king will be, what is your perspective on things? Because everyone in the world can generate this like it's nothing. It does cost money. It continues to get cheaper, though. That's another thing. Why am I wasting my time watching what you made when I can just make it? That'll be the new thing. Because it'll be so... This is why people say AI slop, because a lot of it is. But it's going to make stuff like this. The challenge will be, why am I watching it over me making something? So basically you have to be more creative in a weird way, in a different way, in how you build something. Because if you look at it this way, like a movie director is going to be exactly what AI requires. So the directing job is not changing. Instead of directing people on a set, you're directing AI. So whether that's you or you're using somebody, you're giving directions, directing, right? And AI is doing it for you. So it's like a film set, but instead of taking 30 days and millions of dollars, maybe it'll take 2 days once this really gets going. And, they say like there was a film at Cannes or something, and I think I forget what they said. They said how much it cost. It was like $500,000 or something to make a fully AI generated movie. And you would think like, oh, well, how's that work with a traditional budget? But when you look at it through AI, that money adds up through credits and generations. And another thing is, when you make something, which maybe we'll see, it doesn't come out perfect 98% of the time. Like, something's off about it. Something's wrong about it. Although these things I just shown you, those were the first attempt on each of those. But you can see there's weird things about it. Like, the switch doesn't get hit, but like the light, or like the hand touches it twice and then it's not even hitting it. Things like that happen. Which, when you're trying to make a movie not obvious that it's AI, you have to generate it over and over again. It can take a while. The speed of what you're making is quick, but the speed at what to which you want, the speed of what you want, how you want it. I'm saying this really weird. That's what takes long, because there's people that have done it far more than me, but what I've done, it takes a while because it just doesn't come out the way you want. And it's even when you try to correct it, like, you could be explaining it simply and it just, for some reason, it won't correct it no matter what you do. And then you start over. So this trial and error is what takes so long with AI, because other than that, it doesn't. If the first time you entered it, it was perfect, you could easily make something in hours, like a full movie. But it doesn't. And it's exhausting, because you're continuing to have to do that and watch, try again, watch, try again, watch. Then you build it through editing. So look at me. I'm complaining about the insanity that AI can create. But it's... I mean, look how far it's come, just in that. This looks... I think this guy's a better actor than me, this AI version. I just can't believe that. Like... I mean, I guess it's computing like, oh, facial muscles should look like this under the skin, so when it contracts in a shock face, this is what his face will move to. I don't know what calculations it's doing, but it's that is crazy. Even the freaking double chin it gave me, like, come on, you couldn't. That's the one thing AI could have corrected for me. Like, don't give me the double chin through the beard. God damn it. It even gave me the booger in the nose right there. How does it know? But like the physics of that too. That's pretty good. The lighting, the little light in the eye right here. And this is the thing. A month ago, this same thing that I used, you couldn't do it like this. You could make something similar, but not how easy it was to make this 30-second edited clip. That's the thing. This is fully edited with sound. This one, the voice was weird in this one, but in the previous one, it gave me like a little thing to say. And imagine in a month from now, like, that's the thing. This is a snowball effect, and every time it gets greater and greater, and it's going to reach a point where we're all just going to explode or something, because I can't compute it. This is where AI needs to do it for us, because our brains are too fragile. So that's that. And I do have something to say. I'll get into it later, but like what this means, because right away a creative person is going to be like, oh, that's AI, it's soulless, it means nothing, it'll never be an original thing, a human, because it's training on all these models, which in a way is true. But I'm going to give you an example of how it's actually not such a solid argument. And this is someone from, I want to agree with these people and be like, oh, AI, don't even bother, like, don't let it replace. But at the same time, I realize the power of it, and there can be a soul in it, and it does have a place, especially in a way it empowers individuals and small crews, and it takes allows them to compete with people that have money, influence, power, these big studios, etc. And at the same time, the studios can use it to basically make their employee roster nothing, because AI, they just need the AI guy to type it up, and they can fire like 80% of their staff. That's how they would use it. But at the same time, it'll empower the small person to make something at that same level, which creates a bigger problem for the studio, because they're like, how do we make this profitable when this no-name person over here can make something just as good, maybe it'll even be better, and all the money will go to them. That's going to be the battle. And it's not necessarily in favor of one person over the other. It's positive and negative for both. The funny thing is, there's a possibility that in the short term, it could screw over a lot of people, because they'll lose their jobs and AI will take them, basically. But at the same time, then those studios could go bankrupt at some point, because for the same reason, because they're competing with all this overhead and whatever, while this other individual has none of that, and they can compete with them. So it could backfire on them in the future. So nothing's guaranteed with this. The only thing that is that creativity will always have a place, but it's going to change. And that doesn't, like analog stuff, the way we've been used to doing things, also will never change. It's like painting. People still paint, even though you could make something that looks exactly like a painting in AI in seconds, instead of spending 30 years on your masterpiece. So there's that. Here's a photo that I recently made. Again, I was experimenting with stuff, completely AI generated. As this stuff becomes better and better, the weird stuff is getting phased out. It's becoming more realistic. This is another thing. You might be asking yourself, are you a Cenobite? Do you love Hellraiser or something? Yes, I do, but that's a side note. I'm just experimenting with character design for something, and yes, that's a little too Hellraiser for what I was even going for. But that's just an example of something I generated. Here's an example of, spoiler alert, every thumbnail that I've made now, because of how great this is using AI. So here's an example. This is on my channel. Yep, AI, because it's just what it can do. And it's not even just that it's so easy, and again, it feels like it's taking away from it, but it's really not, because it still takes time, still takes thought to design it, and it almost never comes out exactly how you want. But it's still creative. It's just a different form. It's basically for something like a YouTube thumbnail, right? In the past, it's taken a lot longer, and basically, when it comes to that, I don't, and this, everyone's doing it essentially, but I don't want to spend time creating a thumbnail like how I used to, because I used to use Photoshop and I combine things and spend hours just making a thumbnail on a video that would probably bomb, but now I can just do it in seconds in AI, with AI. Again, another major benefit in my creativity. So I'm not afraid to use it. If you gave me, okay, this isn't even a straightforward answer, because I would say, like, if you gave me the choice to get rid of AI and go back to how we used to do it, and like AI was off the table, part of me wants to be like, oh yeah, of course I would do that. But then I'm thinking like, well, I do use it for thumbnails and things like that, and it's really great what it can do. So it's not an easy answer. I fully understand being concerned about it in creative aspects, and being more impressed with the analog version of it, which is someone actually making it from scratch, not using AI. And of course, when it comes to like filmmaking, I'm an analog guy. Like, just because I can create something with AI right now, a film, that doesn't mean I want to. Like, I like the actual filmmaking process, using a camera, actors, everything about it. I'd still want to do it. Like, really the only problem is the fact that it's going to be so easy and eventually cheap to do it that way, and analog filmmaking will become even more expensive and specialized, that it's going to be a problem to even do it that way. Like, where it'll cost so much money that you won't do it because you won't make a profit. And again, I'm not doing it for profit, but I need to, you have to make a living. That's where the business part comes in. So, I mean, when it comes to me personally, I just want to make a living to survive and live a decent life. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I don't care about that. I'm not like making stuff to do that. I just want to survive and be able to create and express what I want to make. So whatever thing gets me to doing that and still being able to survive, that's what I want to do. Basically, as long as I can create stuff, I'm good. And AI has certainly helped me to do that while I don't have a lot of time. And so again, right now I see more benefits to the individual person than anything else. But I think it's going to be a pendulum. It's going to backfire on that front, and it'll backfire on the studio front. We're both going to hit it, basically. That's where we have to evolve. You can't go back. It's like the smartphone. You can never go back. The box has been opened, and you can never close it again. So there's no choice but to evolve and adapt. And if you want to quickly get into another, hold on, let me pull up something here. So this is Runway. This is the platform where I made that on. But if you want to think about it like this, another stage that's going to happen is, along with AI, is robotics. Because human bodies are frail, right? And limited. And a robot body, assuming it has energy and maintenance, it'll go on forever. So you put an AI into a robot body, you got a human worker that'll never need to eat, never need to stop. And as long as you maintain it and make sure it's charged, or whatever power source it takes, it'll never stop. We're going to have to compete with that. And if we truly wanted to evolve, we would need to put the human brain into a robot body, or altered carbon style, be able to take our brain into different bodies. So when this one breaks down, we transport to another one. But at the same time, even the human brain, compared to AI and what it can process, it's not even at the same level as that. So human beings are just obsolete. At some point, we're going to be obsolete. So we have to somehow have a version of ourselves where that's okay in the world. in the midst of this AI god, because is it all about efficiency and, you know, staying alive forever? No, that's not what humankind is, and that's not what makes humans special. It's the fact that we only live for, you know, ideally 100 years, and then we die. And, you know, such is the way of life. That's what makes us human and special. So it's like we're creating something through AI that's it's not even the point of being a human. So that's a complicated thing, because the more we do that, you know, what is the point? Are we doing this for ourselves or for what? I just rendered myself speechless because I don't know. Like, we should evolve. I think that's part of, I guess, you know, compassion, I think, is one of the best things about being human, but also just that desire of humans to continually improve and get better, explore. That's also a part of humanity. And that drive is going to be our downfall, I guess, because it's leading towards AI. Anyway, let me get into the next thing here. So how should I do this? Let me just show you. I'm going to play a song right now. This is a song I wrote that I used AI to make for me. And it's basically about... That's another thing. Every song that I've made, there's meaning for it. Except for like 2 instances where I purposely wanted to make just a slop song to see what it came out with. But this song is about... I don't think there's anything wrong with me putting this up here. The curse of creativity, which is honestly a topic I want to talk about all on its own at some point. But let me just have the song do the talking here. Just know that this song, every line of it has meaning. I'm still hearing music. There we go. It's not a gift. It's not a blessing. It's a fire that never sleeps, a curse I carry alone. There's something glowing inside my chest, a restless storm that won't let me rest. It's not a dream, it's a demand, a voice that shakes my steady hand. I see the world in scenes and frames, in every silence I hear names of stories untold, of lives I birth, but the real world keeps me tied to earth. No one gets it unless they're cursed to. This isn't passion, this is what I must do. The curse of creativity cuts like steel, a fire that scars but makes me feel I'm drowning. Stop it after the chorus. So that, as I see someone chiming in here, exactly what I'm talking about. That song, I wrote the lyrics to that, and I had AI generate it. It's basically about the problem of being a creative person, and how it feels literally like a curse sometimes, because it's not always the smartest choice in life. It can literally hurt people that you love or that love you, and it the way it can make you think about things, and it's just like this thing always in your brain that, and I'm not going to get too deep into this because again I want to go deeper on this exact thing, nothing to do with AI, like just the actual curse of creativity I'm talking about. uh it just feels like that because it doesn't ever go away. Like, sometimes I wish I didn't have that, because it's not always, again, in life, it's not always the easiest choice, and it can make you feel unfulfilled and hopeless and like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know. It's literally like a curse. It's great when you're able to exercise it and like you're fulfilling that, but the times where you can't, which is like most of life, it hurts you, and it's literally just feels like a curse. Like, I wish I could take it off sometimes, but I can't. And I know that's a common thing. It's just hard to deal with sometimes, especially when you feel like, the circumstances of life are preventing you from expressing it. Um, uh, anyway, so that's the song. That's an example. Yeah, so I'm actually glad you're here, Tailwagga, because that's part of the reason why I'm talking about this. I fully understand that instinct, that right off the bat, because I don't know how long you've been in here, but I can play guitar, I can play drums. I've written songs on both of those things. If I can pull it up here, I'll show a song that I actually recorded on guitar without lyrics because I can't sing. The main thing is, there's a musical part of me, a musician part of me, that wants to do that. But because of life and other things I'm pursuing, like YouTube, like filmmaking, like my actual day job and my family and kids, I just can't. I don't have enough time, and it's not my top passion. But it's always something in there, because at one time in my life, it was. Like, that's what I thought I wanted to do. And then I just, for the past, 15 years or so, it's not been there. But then AI has allowed me to come back to it with, literally, I'll show you a song that I wrote in 2012 with lyrics that I just never did anything with, because I'm like, I can't make this, whatever. I just didn't try. But I fully get that, where it's like that feeling to like AIs, and it's, a band that can create that song is, that's human. That's how it should be. AI is trash, and you can just go on there and type anything you want, which you can. But you can also, if you actually put meaning into it, purpose into it, and basically you can create something meaningful. That doesn't mean that it's the same as playing the music. Sorry, that makes me lose my train of thought. It's not the same, obviously, and especially when you think of playing it live. That's really the problem with AI music, is that how do you do that live? You just have robots up there performing. Like, the only way to do that realistically is to literally hire a band to learn the AI song and play it live. But then why? Why would they do that? So there's always going to be a thing with AI music specifically with that. But yeah, do I want to go see an AI song over a real band? No, I don't. Sociology and film, and it has to do with the way we perceive music. Producing something with AI makes it sound more professional, more like other artists you're familiar with. Well, let me see what else you wrote in. Keep writing your own, but I can assure you you'll feel great after you've made something. Yeah, and that's again, I can play guitar. I have songs recorded using friggin' GarageBand and like a cheap. I'm not saying like a studio recording, but I'm saying I can do that, and I have done that. And of course, if you can have a human touch, this is just the same thing with filmmaking on every aspect of something versus AI doing it. Is that more meaningful? Yeah. Do you feel better about it? Do you feel more like you achieved something? Absolutely. Not only that, it's a collaborative achievement. I think the main thing is I get that gut instinct where it's AI, no, like don't do it. It means nothing. This is so much better. I get that. I had that feeling, when we were first skirting the surface with this stuff. And I'm not saying like AI it's better and this and that. I'm just saying that it's a powerful tool that it actually can and does have meaning depending on how you use it. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I will say one is more fulfilling than the other, which is what I already just said. If something has a human touch on it, the sound mixing, the actual recording of the instruments, probably the most obvious thing would be the voice, right? An actual voice. Yeah. There's more meaning in terms of fulfillment in that. And really important to realize that like influencing and supporting the use of AI even by something as little as a thumbnail image really harms the younger generation. It's a complicated, hold on, let me get this thing back up here. It's a complicated thing because no amount of anybody being against it is going to stop it. It cannot be stopped. And why do I say that? Because let's say the US completely banned it, right? It's illegal. You can't use it. What is China going to do? They're just going to keep doing it. They don't care. They'll blast it. They'll be the top AI producer and they'll rule everything. They'll rule the world because you cannot compete with it. That's the thing. We're racing, if you want to look at it this way, we're racing towards our own destruction because we are, in a way. That destruction could blow up into something, I don't know if it's beautiful, but new. Look at it like this. What was here before humankind? Dinosaurs. A comet came, asteroid, whatever, blew up everything and completely wiped them out, and then a new species came out of that. So us racing towards our own destruction, maybe we blow up just like that, and a new thing will come out of it. They didn't have control over that asteroid hitting them, comet, and we don't really have control over this. We did it to ourselves, but I'm saying there's nothing we can do to stop it because no matter what, there's always going to be someone that furthers it. And it's a thing you just can't, like I said, the cat's out of the bag. It'll never be contained again. When it comes to AI creativity, yeah, you can not support it. But the problem is it's also a business, and it's going to render the real thing so expensive that it's going to be hard to compete and make a living doing it. That doesn't mean real human art, nothing to do with AI, is going to go away. No, of course not. But it'll become such a thing to, like, if you don't use AI in some capacity, it's going to be so hard to make a living that you just... Who makes a living as a painter nowadays? Like, that is such a small, minute amount of people. I don't... Who is a famous painter right now? Like, modern? I don't know. People can do it, sure, but the level of ability to do that at a sustainable rate for... Like, if you're going to school, what do you want to do? Like, you could say, oh, I want to be a filmmaker. Like, okay. If you're like, I want to be a painter, it's like, first of all, you have to be an absolute beast of a painter to have any kind of recognition and for people to spend tons of money on your painting. That's what it might turn into, the real human thing. People will still do it. People still appreciate it. But it'll be so hard to make a living doing it that it's just going to change everything about it. And anyway, I'm kind of getting lost in the weeds on that. The main thing is I get that feeling. I had that feeling. I still do. A part of me still has it. But I'm more open to it and the realization of how you can use it and still have meaning behind it. How you can still have soul behind it and actually create something meaningful with it. Because I can't do anything to stop it. I can say I'm not going to use it. That doesn't change anything. But when you come to the realization that how you can use it for your own life and what you want to do in a meaningful way, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And an aspect like music, what really changed me, I think, speaking of this music, actually, that's really one of the things that really changed my mind on it when I made music with it. Because I had that same, especially with music, had that same instinct. But when I made songs with it, that I'm like, these actually have meaning behind it. Like the composition of this song is actually good. And especially when I used actual lyrics, which let me just get into that now. Actual lyrics that I wrote, it just blew my mind. So look at this. Can you see that? The timestamp? Date modified, 2012. "100% we are chasing our own destruction." Well, thank you. When you first came in here hot, I was a little, whoa. But I see your passion. I know what you mean. And thank you for saying that. Because I agree. But let me use, what is an example here? Okay, this is a problem. These songs, it's not a problem for me, but these songs that I made, I love hardcore music, okay? Metal, whatever you want to call it. I found that in using these tools, it's very good at doing that and country music. Take of that what you will, but those are two genres that it excels at. And I guess acoustic songs, like the one that I just showed you. Which one do I want to do? Okay, I guess I'll just do this one. Actually, I think when I open this, it's going to change that. Date modified. Doing it just for you. So I don't know if you can actually read that. Let me try to zoom in. So you can see the lyrics. Again, this is crazy. I literally wrote this in 2012. So let me pull up the song. Which, by the way, Maybe Better World. If you go to Apple Music, Spotify, any of these platforms, any music streaming platform really, I think, because this is another thing I experimented with, putting it actually out there into the world with streaming. So Apple Music, anything, Maybe Better World. You search that, it'll come up. I just put out one album of it just to see what would happen. Not much, but you can actually go to it. There's an album on there, and I literally have like 5 albums worth of stuff that I've made, but only one of them is out there right now. So if you're curious, you could go there and you'll see other songs that I made. But this one specifically that I'm about to play is the lyrics you see on the screen here, which I didn't put out yet, but I kind of hit pause on doing that. I just did it, the first one, to experiment with doing it. Oh my God, where is it? Okay. So just keep in mind, this is like metal music. There's screaming in it, but there's also singing. It's just what I like.
Why aren't you paying the fallen? Why they don't deserve it? They're already dead. They don't give a shit. Young's been trying better. Picking wings off a fly.
Don't think me heartless. Believe me, I tried. Made the first movie, then lay down and cried. Let time pass and see for yourself. When I try, nothing happens. I'm a constant disappointment. I felt this and I don't like it. Help is what I need, but I don't want it. I want my own will
nothing's fair, undeniably. There are people who care. Everybody gets down, including me. As a matter of fact, I'm falling now. Pray it can be done, but should I show the way? The question remains. Try and make me sway. A price for my help isn't free. This your first step. Find out who you wanna be.
But when I try, nothing happens. I'm a constant disappointment. Can I gain back what I've lost? Help is what I need, but do I deserve it? I need my own will back, but how?
Listen up, your attention is needed. An apology is in order from those ungrateful things you call lips. Get on your hands and knees and kiss the floor.
I appreciate that, and thanks for joining, man.
An endless sea.
And if you want to see how this closes out, you can always come back and watch the rest of it.
Don't
I'm
forget
not
to
expecting you
count
to,
yourself
but I'm just
lucky
saying.
people like you
Thank
can
you
get a
for
second chance,
joining.
Even if it's already been given, you better make it last.
When I try, nothing happens, but I'm ready to try again. I felt this and I'm done with it. Help is what I've got in it. I think I will find my will in who I wanna be.
It's good to know you're not completely moronic. I hope your recovery is at the speed of supersonic. But there's something you can't leave out. Now let's get demonic. You better fucking mean it. You better fucking taste it. I care. I wanna fucking feel it. I'm done now. Let's fucking see it.
Clearly, in 2012, I was going through something. Don't ask me what, because I honestly don't remember. Somebody clearly inspired this. But there you go. Those are that you can even see, because I wrote, and again, 2012. It was on the timestamp on the computer. You can go back to it. I didn't change anything. 2012, right? What was going on in 2012? But you can see the way that the song is structured with, this section's singing, screaming, talking, rap, whatever. The fact that I was able to make that song, which granted the actual instrument part for this particular song could be way better. But the way that it was sung, screamed, the structure of the song, that's exactly how I wanted it to be. And through AI, I made this song. And the current state I am in life, I could not do that. Probably ever. Because I'm not in that mindset to do that. But it's that part of my brain is still in there. Like, I want to do that. I just can't. Don't have the time. I'm doing way too many other things that I also love. So AI was like, oh, actually, that part of your brain this musical part that you want to make song, do it. And I did it. That's the power of this stuff. If you have anything in it that like you just can't do, you're not pursuing it, whatever, it allows you to do that. And in a way that, like, if it didn't exist, you could never do it. But that part inside of you was there. So just imagine there's a part of whatever you want to imagine is in you, but you can never act on it because of where you're at in life, what you're doing. But AI gives you the ability to act on it. That's the true power of it, which is what is amazing about it. And again, I actually like that song. It could be better musically in terms of the instrumentation. But I like that song. I'm not just saying that to I like the song. So how can you argue against that? So that's an example of that. I have other ones, but I don't know how I want to do this. You can see there's other songs here that I also made that I also think turned out pretty good. I guess I'll show you an example of another one that not the whole song, but one that I like, that I use AI to help structure, which I'll do it. I'll generate on this stream. I'll generate a song, try to make it good, see what happens, and then I'll generate like an AI clip, and we'll see what happens with that. This song in particular, I love the lyrics, but also the vocals. I'm a huge Johnny Craig fan, just of his vocals, not of his freaking life choices or personality or anything like that. And this was the inspiration to making a song like this. And this is actually, again, these songs, you can argue whatever you want. The deep meaning in between them or inside of them, like this song in particular, has a lot of meaning. Basically about you can feel like you're stuck in your own destiny sometimes, and nothing will ever change unless it's through you. Like, just listen.
Dream, build my faith on fragile beams. I'm reaching for a future bright, but it keeps slipping out of sight. You plant your seeds, but beg the bloom. Not every star lights up your room. Your fire's real, but time's the key. The clock is mine, not yours to say.
So basically, I mean, if you could understand the lyrics, it's, you can feel like you're like trapped in a destiny, or like what you're trying to do, no matter what you do, it's not happening. But basically, there's a plan for you. If you keep trying, it will unfold when it's meant to happen, like a destiny type of thing, which I've many times in my life I've felt like that, where, you know, I'm trying to do something, and for whatever reason, the time that it actually happens in my life, I'm kind of like, why did it happen now and not 3 years ago, like when it seemed better? But it just, for some reason, it was meant to happen now when it actually happened. And this song is basically about that, and like how whatever you're trying to do or whatever, it'll only happen through you, and it'll happen when it's meant to happen. The key is you have to keep doing it. That's literally the key. It will happen, and it'll happen when it's meant to happen. You just can't give up. It'll only happen through you. There you go. There's another example. I always feel like I'm explaining the meaning behind things. I hate doing that, but it's like, in the context of what we're doing here, I kind of have to. But I just feel like not good explaining shit like that. Let me explain the meaning of the song to you, like, especially when I made it. I'll just quickly show another example, because this isn't focused on the music. I'm going to do another episode solely focused on it, but I'll just kind of forward this one. This is on the one you can find, Maybe Better World, on Apple Music. This is a song I wrote about me and my wife meeting. This is an acoustic version of it.
We met on the edge of yours last day, just a glance, just a whisper, but sparks lit behind silent minds. 4 years burning in the shadows, kept my eye always near, but never close enough to feel the fear. Echoes of a name I never forgot, always turned into battlegrounds of thought. I saw you grow, I watched from far. We were comets crashing toward each other. It took years, but we finally aligned. From silence to stick,
All right, so again, this is weird because I'm the one who made it, so obviously there's a bias. But can you listen to that and not say like that sounds like a good song? I mean, even if it's not your genre or your type of music, like, does it sound off or like not comparable? Because I don't think it's not. That's the weird thing where it's like that sounds just like a lot of the music I'd like already, which of course it trains it on everything, right? So of course it does, but that doesn't mean there's no meaning in it, especially with those lyrics, which is an example of one that I put together. Like, I just can't, the feeling that I get about that, where like I like the song, it's meaningful, it sounds good, that trumps my logical understanding of like, this is wrong, it's AI, like it means nothing. Because they're battling each other, those two sides of my brain. And I guess the heart of me is like overpowering my logical understanding of like, this can't be as good as humans. We shouldn't like it, you know. But I can't argue with it. This is quickly I'll show an example of a country song that I made also. Just the you can see the in different types of music.
Wasn't born down in Texas, never knew that draw. I came up in Riverside, concrete and strip mall. No boots on my feet, no Wranglers in my drawer, no cowboy hat, just Vans on the floor. I skated curves, played Halo late. My speakers blasted punk and that hardcore. Hey, love neon lights and that sound-praise sound. But somehow country still pulls me down. Cause when I crack a beer and hear that tune, I'm two-stepping right under neon moon. A country boy's buried deep inside. He wakes up when those fiddles slide. I ain't got twang, but I feel that song in another life. I've been there all along, eating biscuits and gravy till the break of dawn. Yeah, country boy's been here all along.
If that song came on, because I do like country music, it's, you know, how do I like country, right? I like hardcore metal and I like everything. And sometimes I do go through a country phase where I just want to listen to that. If I heard that on a country radio, not only would I not second guess that that's a legit artist, I'd be like, oh, I like this. What is this? Let me look it up. Like, no shit. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not blowing smoke up my own ass. I just like that song. Like, I did some shit with AI and it spit that out, and I like the song. Like, I don't know what else to say. If anyone else made that out, the same thing. Again, there's been times, because I made this a while ago at this point, where that song will come up on like a playlist or something, and I'll have that same reaction because I'll forget, like, oh yeah, I made that song. That happened to me recently. The song came on, I hadn't thought about it in a while, and I'm like, what is this? I kind of like it. And I literally went to my phone, I'm like, oh, that's that freaking song that I made. That is what's crazy about it. Because I can't argue with that. The fact that I just like it. I like the lyrics. This one, I used ChatGPT. I described the song I wanted, what I wanted it to be about, things I wanted it to mention. And this is an example of a ChatGPT song. Through the prompt that I gave it, it spit out lyrics and a song structure, and then I used that in a song generator, and it made that. So that's an example of that. Everything you've heard up until now, I wrote the lyrics for, and I used this generator to make it for. But let's see another example. Just a little quick. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna get lost in the music. I'm doing another episode on that specifically, but let me just do a quick example. No. I'm gonna save that for next. Tune in to the next one, and I'll do that. Keep doing what... Huh? Oh, there's something else. Yeah, I'll go into the other ones and specifically what is what on the music episode that I'm gonna do in a couple weeks. Because there's other ones I want to show you. Like this one, I used ChatGPT. This one, I used my own lyrics. This one, I described every little thing I wanted. And this one, you know, This one had this much text. This one had this much. Like, I'll get into details like that on a later episode. Matter of fact, I think I'll keep, because I'm running out of time here, I'll keep the song generation that I was going to show you here to that episode, but I will do a video generation here in a second. No, you know what? I'll do the music. Let's see. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, that's it. So this is using AI Music Maker GPT inside Chat GPT. So create a metalcore song with gent, guitars. Let me do technical. Technical, guitars, and riffs. With soulful R&B male vocals and catchy melodic chorus. The song is about what is the song going to be about? Let's make this meta. A man who is talking about AI, and I don't want to get too specific because then it gets really lame if you're like, oh, guys on a podcast, blah, blah. Like, when you start doing stuff like that, it's just comes out horrible. He's talking about AI and its place in humanity. Does it evolve humankind, or is it the downfall? What is even real? He believes, and I'm just going to say this because I don't even know if I believe it, that it will evolve humanity for the better until it won't. Enter. Until it won't. Well, what a great song title. So guess what? If this comes out good, I might just put this one out and I just created it live. This is the AI Music Lab tool. So again, this is an example of using ChatGPT to take whatever idea you want, whatever type of song, and doing it that way. There's far more descriptive ways of doing it. You can use your own lyrics. You can describe I'm only doing this because there's limited time. You can describe every single thing you want, every bit of the structure, the instruments you want, the key that it's in, all this stuff. The more descriptive, the better, generally. Oh, I gotta sign in. Don't want you to see that. Oh my God. So it's loaded up here already. We got the lyrics there. Let's see what happens. So while that's generating, let's branch off here. Where is the thingy? So while it's generating that song, I'll see if what GPT a prompt it can make us for creating a scene. So I'm going to keep this simple to see what happens. Create a movie scene prompt for an AI video generator. The scene is a superhero flying down from above to intercept a thief from mugging a mother with her baby in New York. Again, I'm keeping this something simple like this for time's sake. So this is an example of getting your core idea across in a far more descriptive way. Again, saving you time. But if you read this text, you can always modify it, but it might be, you know, doing it with a less human touch. So that's the prompt. Use Runway, Sea Dance 2.0. It's the new hotness, right? Where you see Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fighting. Let me go back to the music. You know, the main thing, the problem that I've run into with generating stuff is the policies on, you know, if you want to call it, not blocking. God, what is that word I'm looking for? Oh my God, I can't think of it. But basically it has policies on like gore, violence, nudity, things like that. Depending on what you're doing, it's far too strict. Like it's assuming you're doing something horrible. But like if you're trying to do like anything with like, you know, horror, for example, usually that involves gore and violence. It'll just like say, you can't do this. This violates our policy. Even if it's like, you know, a red stain on a thing, it'll be like, there's blood in this. You can't use. So in that regard, it's very restrictive with things like that, which makes it a lot less useful for that particular genre. But I mean, I've read other stories of it being far too restrictive in other ways where it's like, you know, they're doing too much, basically. But at the same time, you see why they do that, because you could, you know, put a real person in there and make it look like they got shot or something, and they didn't. So that's why they don't do that. Although there's a lot of ways around stuff. Really, if you're just messing around with it, having fun, it seems to work out all right. It's when you really need it for a specific reason, where you're like, God, it's not doing it. Because like the copyright stuff, where like, you know, you're not supposed to be able to use a recognizable person, you can get around that. There's ways to do it. But then of course when you're like, well, I'm trying to do this specific thing, that's when it doesn't work. Oh, it's still generating. Okay, I think it went through. Until it won't. Here we go. I probably should have used an example of like a something softer. But again, I'm doing a full episode on the music part of it. I'll do that then. Oh my god, man, as someone who likes this kind of music,
Blue light on my skin like a second sunrise. I hear a ghost in the wire, learning how to cry. Every answer echoes with a human tone. But who am I talking to? When I'm alone.
I'm gonna use a term that the kids use. This kind of music is cooked.
I asked the machine, it dreamed of heaven. It said it learned the word from us. I watched it paint 1,000 faces from the dust of what we loved. It knows the songs my mother sang. It knows the wars we never named. It speaks in mirrors soft and strange. And still I feel the future change. Are we building wings or digging graves? Are we gods now? Just afraid. I believe we rise through the fire. Hands of cold.
Okay, so pretty damn good as a fan of that kind of music. This one, that song was a little too clean, and I could, as someone who's made a good amount of this now, I could feel the AI touch a little too much. But still a great freaking song, just in the way it sounded, aside from the meaning, the lyrics, all that. This is another version of the same exact song. Because it creates two, this program.
Blue light on my skin like a second sunrise.
That's another crazy thing. It'll generate a new song every single time. Oh, great. Now I got to restart. I'm just going to download it. You want to talk about insanity? That's insanity. Is like, if you have that thought, every time you generate it, it's going to be a little bit different. A little bit different. A little bit different. You can, like, you know, you got to stop at some point when doing this shit.
Blue light on my skin like a second sunrise. I hear a ghost in the wire, learning how to cry. Every
Ghost in the
answer
Wire.
echoes with
I can tell that ChatGPT came up with that.
human tone. But who am I talking to when I'm alone?
God.
Till I feel the future, it will hold us, it will save us until it won't, until it won't. I believe we rise through the fire, hands of cold lifted hearts higher. If we
God. Until it won't. Maybe you'll find that on there, because, like, look how I just did that live, and that song is pretty great. Some of the verses and, like, the choruses I thought were great on both of them. But again, it's a little off for me. But again, if this was me just making this as like something, I would be adjusting things and try again. But that's the first attempt, as you saw live. Pretty damn good. That's incredible. That's the thing. Like, you watch me do that with ChatGPT just with a quick idea, but the more meaning you put into it from the get-go, the more specific you are, the more soul you're trying to put into this machine, the better it actually gets. And that's when it really surprises you, which is some of the stuff I've made. It's bottles your mind, you know, when your thoughts get trapped in a bottle. It leaves you speechless, really. Like, the power of it is insane. Again, when I do the music episode where I'm gonna go more in depth with this, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Am I the first follower? Where do you want? I can't even read it. I think you're doing it on... I don't even know what platform you're watching, but on the platform you're watching, probably, yes. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go back to the other one. Oh, 77%. Not so quick after all, huh? Well, I'm doing it on my account unlimited mode, which means it takes longer. All right. I'm watching from Twitch. What else are you streaming? All of them. Kick, YouTube. My main thing is YouTube, but Instagram, every platform, essentially. I tried Trovo. It's not working. I don't know what's going on with that, but I guess, isn't that a Russian thing or something? I don't know. But yeah, if you just joined, you can, if it interests you, you can watch the VOD and get caught up to this point. Oh my God, 90. Let's go. We don't have time for this, AI. Oh, this one took a half a second. Oh my God, I'm trying a different one. That's gonna be the new feature. Instead of being just grateful that you can even do anything like this. And what is this, like 2 minutes? That's going to be the new reality. Like, oh my God, this one took half a second. It's supposed to be instant. Back in the day when they're doing CGI work, it would take them days to render like one frame. And you want to talk about something that's going to go out a bit, that's going to be CGI artists, unfortunately. Again, there'll still be people that are just passionate about it. They like to do that. They like to play with models and do it that way. But in terms of large-scale use, all the money that's dumped into that nowadays, no, that's going bye-bye. Because they have no reason to spend that much money on that any longer. Once this, probably by next year, because it's pretty close already. The visual effects you can do in AI now. There's really just the main issue with doing that stuff now is it's the God, why can't I think? What is the word I'm looking for? The integration, I guess, and the professional use of it, it's lacking in a lot of areas. It's limiting. But again, they every month change that. 98%. Oh my God. Oh, let me see if I can pull up my voice clone while we're waiting. Oh, it's not going to be here. Wait, I got something here. Mortality is not just the curse of being human. It is also the reason human life is beautiful. The fact that life ends is what gives moments meaning. The fact that youth disappears is what makes it precious. The fact that we cannot hold on to every person, every era, every version of ourselves forever is what makes memory ache with significance.
That is the paradox. The very things that make human life painful
Oh my God, now
are
I can't
also
stop
the
it.
things that make it sacred.
Did you see my mouse? My mouth moving? That's my voice through AI. Now, why did I do that? I'm not going to get into details about that, but yeah, I have a voice clone, and it sounds just like me, maybe slightly. Of course, I'm speaking now, so you can compare to the real thing. My real voice is a little bit deeper, I'd say, and a less. I don't enunciate as much, maybe. I don't know. It's pretty goddamn close, though. That's for sure. To the point where you just hear that, and you know what my voice sounds like? I don't think you'll even know. Isn't that scary? You can just clone somebody. Well, they have things where they're like, you verify it, right? You take a video recording yourself to prove like, hey, I'm actually me and I'm cloning my voice. But what happens when someone AI generates someone talking and then they, again, there's ways around it. You can do that. That's the scary thing, is you can like, you can't believe what you see anymore or what you hear, because you can just clone someone's voice damn near perfectly and their likeness. And that's a future we're also going to have to deal with, especially with politics, right? And the way that social media is and people's mindsets are, they don't care about the truth. Something like that gets set off with wildfire, you know, through the algorithms. It's too late. The damage is done, and people will believe it because they want to, because it helps them and their beliefs. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Am I even real? Is this an AI live stream? That'll happen at some point, but this is real. I don't know what I can do. Is this AI? Is this me? Which I played earlier, an AI video of me. And it's me. It's basically me. Oh my God, it's stuck at 98%. This is great. Perfect for a live stream. Especially when I myself need to wrap this up. Come on. I mean, there's already AI like porn with like AI girls, so that's already a thing in some form. Like cam girls that are made out of AI. Oh my God, come on. Oh my God. I'm sorry it's taking... I don't know why it's like hung up on this. I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes and then I'm gonna move past it. Unfortunately. I don't even know if I should try to refresh it or not. What I do is the opposite of AI. What do you do? Please keep this alive while we're waiting. See if there's something else I can just... Oh my God. It's not ready for prime time, I guess. Jeez. See if there's at least something else I can pull up real quick. Oh, there we go. There you go. See, this is what I'm talking about. Blocked. Why is it blocked? I don't know. I didn't use any copyrighted stuff. Take a guess. You're competing with... I haven't said a word related to it. Opposite of AI. I'm reading it off this little screen because I don't have that. Oh, wait, let me. Is it going to show up here? Nope. That's great. I don't know why it's not showing up there. For some reason, the Twitch chat isn't showing up on my end. I don't know, but as you can see, the request was blocked. I'm assuming because it was like, assumed it was violent or something. But there you go. This is honestly the main problem with it now. Is like it's a little too restrictive on policy things. This is just one model. Another one might have been fine with this prompt, but C-Dance blocked it. Anyway, I literally... Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to do a part 2 of this or something because I don't have time to do any more. But, I'm going to do a specific episode on music coming up here on a couple weeks from now. I'll go more in depth and I'll show more. And yeah, I'm like exhausted from doing this for however long it's been. I think I might do a part 2 on this because there's more I want to talk about. But you got the gist of it right now. AI is crazy. It's insane. Let me follow you on Insta too. Yes, please. Off the Couch Talk. You should. Every platform should be Off the Couch Talk. That's what it is. Yeah, I think I hit everything I wanted. No, actually I didn't. I literally just said I didn't hit everything I wanted. I got the gist of it. AI is crazy. We're all maybe doomed. But there's also hope at the end of the tunnel. As I'm getting blown up here. A lot of good can come out of it while we're racing towards our own destruction. Maybe that's the key. Fulfillment, all the things. I'm very fulfilled by some of the things it's allowed me to do. And overall, it's scary. It's a scary good. It's a bittersweet. Anyway, you can expect probably a part 2 coming, and I really do gotta go. It's time for me to get off the couch. If you joined me at any time, if you've been watching this whole time, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad I was able to share this with you. You can expect more to come. You can see some other episodes scheduled. I might have to change some of those around, but those actual episodes will be coming up, as well as more. And primarily, I'm watching you from Insta. Oh, yeah, you are. You're there. Yeah, this is primarily filmmaking, movie channel, but I dive in all kinds of things. AI. I did this specifically because I use it, and like, I just felt like anything I feel like I want to express or share, I'm gonna do it on here, even if it's not related to movies or filmmaking. This one is, but hope to see you guys on the next one. It's time for me and you to get off the couch. Love you. Yes, this is an AI song, by the way.